everybody. Thanks for joining me as we take a look at your weekend forecast for February 23rd through the 25th. And after a little bit of snow and mixed precipitation, rain and snow mix this morning, our weather's going to quiet down. We're looking at a cold day tomorrow, warming up a little bit on Sunday, and then a big warm up for next week. So let's take a look at the details as we go forward on the forecast. You can see not a lot going on across the rest of the country, with the exception of our storm, which is kind of getting going here today. We're going to take a look at this. We're going to see how basically by the time you see this video, probably this is just about wrapping up. Things are pulling out to the east here. The storm is going to continue to wrap up for down East Maine and for the Canadian Maritimes, but not for us. However, you do see a little hints of a front here. We're going to take a look at that. This front means business, and it is going to swing through and by tomorrow, we're going to bring us some colder, much colder air on the backside of this system, and with the front, a little Arctic blast, but only for a day before we start to warm back up again. Sunday will be about average for temperatures, and then by Monday, we're starting to warm up. Tuesday and Wednesday, we get real warm next week. So let's take a look at that close-in radar. Oops, before we get to that radar, let's go to the close radar first, I think. Here's that close-in radar. As you can see, this is the radar shot as about 6:30 this morning. So, like I said, by the time you see this, you may very possible that you are that it's already wrapped up here. But you can see the storm is really just starting to get going, just enough to give us a little bit of elevation snow. Some lower elevations, you're still in you rain for some of this too, particularly the Route 7 corridor. But for the rest of us, a little bit of snow, up to an inch or two in a couple of spots, and just enough to make it a little bit slippery, but not really that big of a deal. This system, like I said, will continue to wrap up, but really get going too late for us to see any significant storm out of it. Let's take a look back at that national radar. Here's that front. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to show you temperatures behind it in a little bit. You're going to see that, yes, indeed, we are going to get quite cold. This system, once again, not a full latitude storm, mostly southern energy that's kind of snuck up the coast. And so that southern jet stream energy often does not give us strong storms, kind of gives us these weak hitters that we've seen a lot of this winter. And doesn't look like we've got anything significant on the horizon. If anything, mostly warmer weather as we go forward, looking forward. Let's take a quick look at that upper level. We do have almost came together, and it will come together for like the Canadian Maritimes, because here's that northern piece of energy, this northern trough, and then here's your trough in your southern jet stream, and they are starting to kind of come together, and they are going to kind of all coalesce eventually for this system, that's part of what's allowing us to tap this cold air for one day. We have this ridge out west, though, and eventually as this ridge spills across, it is going to build southwest flow, particularly at the surface, towards us towards the middle of next week. So even though we're going to see some real cold air tomorrow, we're going to see some warm air. We could see 50 on Wednesday in a lot of locations, I think is definitely a possibility. So just to kind of give you a preview of what is coming going forward. Here's the temperatures, and you can see this front is a real front. Sometimes you see cold fronts and the temperatures aren't that different in front and behind them. Out in front of this cold front, out in front of the Arctic air here, we've got temperatures mostly in the 30s. Some 20s in some of the higher elevations, but mostly 30s. Behind it, we're talking below zero temperatures for the most part. So yeah, definitely as this front swings through, it will bring, we're not going to see these below, I don't think we'll get below zero in most spots even tomorrow night, which will be the coldest night. But I think we will definitely be down in the single numbers, close to zero for a lot of locations. And tomorrow is going to be kind of breezy. And it's going to feel cold tomorrow. Tomorrow is definitely, it's going to feel like winter for a day. Let's take a look at the actual forecast. So that wintry mix, snow at about anywhere really above 750 feet to 1,000 feet and below, that's going to hold off. We're going to be wrapping up very soon. Temperatures will warm up this afternoon. Some of the snow will melt even that we get today. Temperatures in the mid to upper 30s, pretty similar to yesterday temperature-wise. A little bit more clouds. I don't think we'll see any peaks of sun, maybe a peak of sun this afternoon. Overnight, we hold on to the clouds pretty well as that front moves through. Tomorrow, we see a mix of sun and cloud, breezy, cold. Start off the day probably around 20, and if anything, definitely actually falling. By the mid-afternoon, we could be in the low teens. Wind chills will be down near zero or below zero. And yeah, quite cold. If you're going to ski tomorrow, it is definitely doable, but I just want to be a little careful about bundling up. If you got kids and skiing tomorrow, you definitely want to bundle up. There could be a few wind holds on some of the spots. So just be cautious of that for tomorrow. It's definitely doable. It's not like it's so cold that you're going to, you can't do it, but you're going to need to take more breaks and things like that. Overnight, we get pretty cold Saturday night. Before Sunday, we start to move some clouds in, and temperatures will come back up on Sunday into the mid to upper 20s to around 30. Overnight, Sunday night into Monday, we get a chance of some snow showers, potentially. Didn't put them on the map here, but definitely a chance of some snow showers as a little bit of a warm front moves through Sunday into Monday, but nothing that'll cause any issues on the roads or anything like that. Let's take a quick look at that at the weekend highlights. All right, so taking a look at those weekend highlights, today begins with light snow above 1,000 feet. Like I said, that's pretty much wrapping up at this point, and rain and snow below 1,000 feet. Even in higher elevations, we're only looking at about an inch or two. That's basically already fallen. Saturday brings colder weather with temperatures falling to low teens by Saturday afternoon. Sunday will start cold but warm to about normal, and Sunday night brings a few flurries and snow showers. Nothing too exciting there. Looking at a pretty significant warm up for next week. All right, so that's your forecast. Not too exciting. A couple things to pay attention to. I will be back on Monday with a look at your work week forecast. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel before, I would encourage you to do so. Helps make sure you don't miss any of my videos. Also, do want to give a quick shout out to my patrons. They help support what I do here at the West River Weather Guide. They are, if you're interested in becoming a patron, there's a link in the description below that talks about how you can do that. And again, thank you for supporting the channel. I will be back on Monday with a look at your work